Hi, I hope you're well. I hope you got a chance to watch the last video that I produced, the coccyx curl. Um, as I said in that video, it's great for warming up the low back, and it's also the beginning of the exercise that I want to show you today, which is called the pelvic lift. So remembering back into the coccyx curl, we did the coccyx curl with 3 breaths, tilting the pelvis up almost to the waistline incrementally. You can choose to start the pelvic lift that way also, or you can eliminate the incremental movements and the stopping and taking 3 breaths. And as I'll show you today, you can take a breath in before you begin. And again, this speaks back to some of the very beginning videos that I ever did about extending the duration of your inhale and your exhale. So you can take a nice, long, slow, luxurious exhale as you, in one slow, smooth movement, peel your tailbone and your spine up off the table and lift all the way up so that you're supporting yourself across the back of your shoulders. And then you can take a breath in while you stay up there and exhale, re-engage your abdominal muscles and tilt your pelvis in the air. It's a little bit tricky, but it can be done. And roll down from the top of your spine. If you find you don't have that much breath control, it's also possible to simply keep moving. You don't have to take another long, luxurious inhale. You can take a quick sniffing inhale like this, and that gives you enough air so that you can continue to exhale a long, slow, luxurious exhale and really give your spine a nice stretch and some nice work. So here we go. Here's what it looks like. So as always, you want to line your feet up flat. Make sure that your big toe is as heavily on the surface as your little toe is. That your feet and knees are in line with the center of your hip sockets. So you're creating imaginary parallel lines that go out. And I notice that for me, it's most comfortable to have my heels a little closer to my hips than the distance between my hips and shoulders. So I'm just going to do it in one breath rolling up and one breath rolling down. You take a breath in. Exhale, pull the pubic bone up, begin to unweight the tailbone, continue to pull the pubic bone up and reach through the knees and the tailbone and the spine as you continue to lift. Now when you get to the top and you're resting on your shoulders, it's hard to see with my t-shirt, but what you're looking for is essentially a straight spine. What we don't want to do is drop the tailbone and really lift in here. I can't even do that. I'm already getting a pinch in my back and it's hurting. So when you're up in the air, keep the pubic bone reaching toward your nose and beyond your head. Keep your tailbone reaching toward your knees and beyond your knees. Then take a breath in. As you exhale, pull the pubic bone up again, tilt the tailbone in the air, and roll down. From the top of the spine, slowly, incrementally down the vertebra of the spine until you allow your tailbone back into neutral. So I'm going to try that once more. Inhale. Exhale, pull the pubic bone up, flatten the belly back and across, reach the tailbone up, start reaching the knees, lifting the low back, continuing to pull the pubic bone toward the nose, belly button back and across. Keep reaching the tailbone and the knees. Inhale. Exhale, pull the pubic bone up, tilt the pelvis in the air, and roll down slowly from the top of the spine until your tailbone is back on the surface and you're back in neutral. So I'm going to show you a way that you can incrementally make this more challenging. You go up there, you stay up there, you hold it for another breath cycle before you roll down. That requires all the muscles up and down your spine to work. Your glutes are working. Your inner thighs are working to keep your knees parallel. Your quads and your hamstrings are all working. Everything's working. You're keeping your ribs closed. You're pulling the pubic bone towards your nose, working your lower abs. You're pointing the sternum toward the pubic bone so that you can't close your ribs. And now you're working all the muscles of your torso as well. This is a great exercise. So here we go again. So I'm going to do it and I'm going to stay up there for a breath cycle. Inhale. Exhale, pull the pubic bone up, flatten the belly back and across, start pressing the tailbone up or reaching the knees, reaching the tailbone, and lift all the way up. Inhale into the back of your lungs, not into your belly. Exhale, flatten your abs again. Keep reaching the tailbone, close the ribs. Inhale, and now exhale as you tilt and roll down. So maybe you can see how that is going to make it more challenging. So this time you stayed up there for one extra breath cycle. Maybe next time, or maybe you wait for several days, doing it, holding one breath cycle for several days until you feel like you're already a little bit stronger. Then you stay up there for 2 breath cycles, or 3, or 4, or 5. And from there, once you get strength doing that, then you can move into more challenging exercises by lifting one leg and moving your legs while your hips are all up in the air. You will then be strong enough to keep your hips still and stable while in the air once you're moving your legs. You don't want to jump ahead and start moving your legs around until you are absolutely certain that you can keep your hips still and stable while in the air and not gripping in your back and dropping your tailbone. As always, if you got any questions or any comments, I welcome them. Please let me know. Thanks. Bye.